thank you very much for the warm welcome. It's great to see each and every one of you, but we are here and it's great to see all of you guys. I really appreciate everybody for taking the time and joining us on this call today. Well, thank you very much. And what I wanted to do today is to dive a little bit more deeper into the details of some of the announcements and the news that we made during the VISION25 event week. First of all, I want to say it was a fantastic event week. It was great to have so many of you, especially from Italy, to join us here in Thailand. And I think with everything that was announced, everything that was shared with you during that week, again, even further establishes our confidence in the future of our company and our community. Now, I will start off my session today by making the statement that the countdown has started. What it really means, well, I'm going to talk about this at the end of my section today. So stay with us to the end and you'll learn all about it. Now, one of the major announcements that we did during the event was the announcement for the rebranding of Amplivo. And as it was said during the event, we feel that this is now the perfect moment and the perfect time for us to align the communication and the branding within our business. Whereas the Amplivo has been a brand that we've all obviously worked very closely with and we love the brand, it is something that has, at least for many of us, felt a little bit distant from the key brand, which is the core, which is Corsair. And by bringing all the brands now together, we will be finally able to focus only into one brand, which is Corsair, and then that will be the flag and the brand and the name that we're going to be carrying around the world. This will be done in a coordinated way, where during the next 6 weeks, there will be marketing campaigns and communication informing everybody around the world that the rebranding is coming. We want to make sure that nobody is able to say that we are somehow running away from the Amplivo brand or that there is some funny things going on. This will be a very clear, communicated, and straightforward alignment of the brands. And the new brand will become active after the new year, around the same time as we are also going to launch the new back office for the Corsair Connect. Another important announcement that we did, and which is something that you will learn more and more in the coming weeks, is to do with the launch of Corsair Pay. Now, Corsair Pay is something that we have been working on for quite some time. We have been looking at having a payment platform that would allow us to better manage incoming transactions and also outgoing transactions from the company. And it actually came recently an opportunity for us where Corsair is now becoming a partner and a shareholder in an existing digital bank in Canada. So this existing bank has already been operating for several years. They are processing about 10 million euros of transactions every month. They operate very much in the same way like Revolut and other digital banks operate. And now, by Corsair becoming a shareholder in this bank, it will be rebranded as Corsair Pay. Corsair Pay is going to work exactly the way how you think it should work. Basically, it means that you will be able to open up your online bank account. You will be able to make transfers into your account and out from your account like you would do with any normal Italian bank account. You will also be able to make deposits into your Corsair Pay account by using a credit card. And in regards to our business, Corsair Pay will be a very easy way for people to deposit money into their Corsair Pay account and then from there send it to Corsair Connect. Also, when you earn commissions, you will be able to withdraw those commissions directly into your Corsair Pay account. And once you have any money in your Corsair Pay account, you can then move it whenever you want, or we will also then be providing you with debit cards that you can use for payments online, in ATMs, on stores, and so on. Now, this is, in my opinion, again, a natural step that we are taking as a company, and it shows you again the direction where things are heading. And I like the fact that this is not something that we're using somebody else's service, but instead, this is now becoming an actual digital bank that we are a partner in and carries our name. Now, another important announcement which was done during the event, and there will be more information also shared regarding this topic later on, has to do with Corsair now being recognized at the United Nations. We as a company have now been recognized as a sustainable supplier at, and this will read here in the poster, at the Climate and Sustainability Capital Forum at United Nations. And again, this announcement by itself could have been the main announcement at the event. I mean, how many companies, let's not even say how many network marketing companies, but how many companies get to be recognized at the United Nations as a sustainable supplier, as recognized for the work that we're doing for the environment. But in our event and in the event week, this was just one of the many announcements that was done, but something that will have a great impact in the future, because this again carries so much weight and brings so much credibility to the work that we're doing every day and the business and the company that we built. Now, moving onwards with the topics, we're extremely happy and excited to tell you that the Corsair Capital opportunity is now officially open. Now, I'm going to take a little bit now time to explain how it works and what are the next steps regarding the Corsair Capital. Now, this will be the week that things will begin to take action after we have now trained some of the first brokers, the first agents in regarding the Corsair Capital opportunity and aligned our online environment in connection with Jurivex, our capital markets partner. So Corsair Capital is a company which is part of the Corsair Group. Corsair Capital as a company is a public company based in the Netherlands, and Corsair Capital as a company owns part of the international holding company of the entire Corsair Group. Since we started Corsair soon, almost 6 years ago, we have never sold or given away any shares in the international holding company, the mamma, as you would say in Italian. We have never given away any share, not even one share from that company. And this group of companies that are registered and built under the international holding today involves almost 30 companies around the world. This includes all of the companies and the factories here in Thailand, the factory in Finland. It includes Corsair Connect or Amplivo. It includes Corsair Pay. It includes every operation that we do today and everything that we will do in the future. Corsair Capital is now the gateway, it's the door for any investor becoming a shareholder in the entire group by owning shares in Corsair Capital, which owns shares in the international holding. And this means that for the first time ever, there's actually a few things that is happening for the first time ever, but let's list them up. Number one, this will be the first time ever that investors will be able to become owners of the entire Corsair Group. Another thing that's happening for the first time ever is that a network marketing company will be legally allowed to offer investment opportunities to the public. Now, what is happening at the moment is that we are completing the agreements with the 3-star Amplivo partners, 3 stars and above, who have gone through or will go through a training allowing them to begin offering the Corsair Capital opportunity to the public. Now, it's very important to highlight that only the individuals that have an agreement of operating as an agent, only these individuals are allowed to speak about the investment opportunity into Corsair Capital. For everyone else who doesn't have such agreement, they should only introduce a potentially interested investor to an agent that has such an agreement. Now, Corsair Capital as a company is allowed to advertise this opportunity in newspapers, in TV, in social media, wherever. Our investment offer, the legal offer, has now been approved by all European Union individual financial authorities in all the 27 or so European Union countries. This means that Corsair or the agents who have the agreement are allowed to introduce the opportunity to public. But anyone else can only, by law, recommend a potential investor to talk to the company or talk to a authorized agent. We will begin this week to bring in the first investors into the Corsair Capital company. And then in about 10 days from now, the opportunity will be then made completely open for everybody else. And then the opportunity will close at the end of the year. As a company, by law, we are allowed to collect from the public 5 million euros per year, per calendar year. So at the end of the year, in New Year, this opportunity for this year will complete and close. Now, I want to highlight that the Corsair Capital opportunity is something like a bonus. It's a very small, short window, special project, which is not to take away focus from our normal daily work. Every investment that is made into the Corsair Capital will also generate commissions into the Amplivo network. Now, the amount of commission that is paid from every investment is smaller than it would be from the sales of the plastic waste removal service. But in a similar way, when anyone from your downline invests into Corsair Capital, there will be commissions paid to the entire network. Now, we are going to communicate a lot about this in the coming days. And if you are yourself interested or you have someone that you feel that would be interested of becoming a shareholder in this unique opportunity, we will introduce you and we will give you all the information that is needed in order to bring those people or yourself involved. Now, also after the new year, we will begin to distribute bonus shares in Corsair Capital for the qualified Amplivo partners. This means that when you advance on your star ranking career program, you as an Amplivo partner, by just doing your work and building your business, you are actually earning bonus shares free of charge in Corsair Capital. Now, when you are a shareholder in Corsair Capital, that means that you are now owning part of everything that we do today and everything that Corsair is going to be doing in the future. These shares are expected to increase and grow in value in the coming years. You will be able to read our official government-approved projections, all the return on investment, everything else that is being projected and approved by the financial authorities in the documentation that will be made public also on our website. But you could say that it's a pretty exciting and attractive opportunity. Also, as you might be aware, our target and our aim and our plan is to take the company Corsair as a group onto the stock market in the next coming years. And there will be an opportunity for the Corsair Capital shareholders to use those shares before the listing of the company on the stock market to actually buy into the mama, which will be then prepared for the listing on the stock market, which means that when the value of the shares increase over the next couple of years, you will be able to use that increased value in anticipation of the pre-listed company in the stock market. So you will be able to read all of this in the official documentation, and I think you will find that this opportunity is going to be a very exciting moment and a step for us as we as a company are moving towards going public. Now, I mentioned earlier that the countdown has started. This means that the allocation period for the CSR25 plastic credit is coming to an end. Let me explain what this really means. It means that in the beginning of January, we will be able to look back and finalize exactly how many CSR25 plastic credits will ever be in existence. So based on the total amount of sales of the plastic waste removal service during this year, there will be a number that can be now identified, which will be resulted in the issuance of the CSR25. And once this allocation period ends, which will be in the first days of January, as the week ends on Friday, I believe the Friday the 3rd of January. So when that ends, we will be able to then look back and see this is how many CSR25s will ever be in existence. Now, what makes this so exciting is that there is a very small amount of circulation to ever be in existence. Because the CSR25 is based on only on the work done in the year 2025, it's going to be a very small amount, which will then begin to reduce on a weekly basis. With every single offset that is done by companies and private individuals, that circulation is becoming smaller and smaller and smaller. At the same time, with the inclusion and the growth of the CSR buyback program, that in the same way means that every single time when Corsair produces a liter of oil, the circulation of CSR25, which is included in the buyback program, becomes lesser and lesser and lesser. Something that we also announced during the event week is regarding the gate fees of the plastic waste raw material. So let me explain you a little bit how this works and why this is so significant and how this will impact the future of CSR25. Well, first of all, inside the European Union countries, within the European Union itself, there are regulations and limitations in place where plastic waste cannot be exported anymore outside the European Union area, like it used to be in the last decades when plastics were sent to Asia, to China, to Thailand, to other places. In other words, it means that plastic waste raw material has to be treated and processed within the European Union area. We cannot pay Chinese anymore to take the plastic into China and process it there or dump it over there. And therefore, companies that are able to take the plastic waste are receiving so-called gate fees, basically payments of accepting the plastic into their recycling facilities. Now, a couple of years ago, we as a company have been able to receive gate fees of approximately 50 to 100 euros per ton. Now, recently, in the last year or so, the gate fees started to increase to a level of around 200 euros per ton. Now, recently, I visited Croatia, where I had meetings with the local government representatives. And something which is a public information already today is that, for example, the Croatian government is now offering as much as 450 euros per ton for someone like us to be able to take their plastic waste. And in this case, the Croatian government has stored in warehouses more than 200,000 tons of already separated plastic waste that they need somebody to take. Slovenia has the same, very similar issue. And in the past, they used to send all of this plastic to be incinerated, to be burned in Austria. But now the Austrian incinerators are in full capacity. They don't have any more capacity to take in anything more. From Italy, they are actually sending a lot of waste even to Finland and into the Netherlands. But this really means now that the amount of money that you can receive if you are able to recycle plastic waste in Europe is increasing rapidly. In France, they have already announced that they are now going to increase the gate fees into as much as 1,000 euros per ton. So think about this for a moment. We as a recycler take in 1,000 kilos of plastic waste raw material. From that 1,000 kilos, we can generate as much as 900 liters of oil. We will sell that oil based on the general market price of a high quality pyrolysis oil. We can sell that 900 liters with approximately $900. On top of that, we can now be paid as much as 450 euros, even up to 1,000 euros extra, just for accepting the raw material to do that. This means that our income basically now double by not doing double the work, by just doing the same amount of work. We're now going to start getting paid twice as much. And what we've decided to do is that this extra income coming from these gate fees globally will also now be allocated exactly like the oil sales, 10% into the CSR buyback program. So every time when Corsair receives new plastic into especially our European factories, money goes into the buyback program. Every time when we sell a shipment to our customers like Shell, money goes into the buyback program. And we will spend that money on the public markets at any available rate. We will buy back CSR and CSR25 credits at any price that anyone is willing to sell. And with every single new machine that becomes active, with every single new factory that becomes active, this buyback program on a monthly basis, in terms of the money that is being used to buy back CSR and CSR25, keeps increasing. This is something that I don't think most of the people understand yet. They don't really get this, what's going to happen with the buyback. Because this is something that nobody's ever done before. People don't understand the opportunity that they're actually holding. And especially with CSR25, which is so limited, based only and only in the 1 year's allocation, we're going to see quick movements on the CSR25. And also now CSR25 being the very first of our annualized plastic credits and being the only annualized plastic credit part of the buyback program is going to make it very, very unique. So there is right now less than 50 days left. The allocation period of CSR25 will complete and will end forever. And once it's over, it will be over forever. So there is no way that, for example, next year, somebody could buy a package and receive more CSR25. When it's over, it's done. It's forever closed. And after that, every week, the circulation will become less and less and less and less. This is going to get interesting. This is going to be very, very exciting to follow. And the best thing is not to watch somebody else, but actually being involved by yourself. But when you think about these developments, these announcements that we've done over the last couple of weeks, you see the direction where we are moving as a company. The Corsair brand is becoming stronger and stronger each month. And I know that now when all of us will be able to represent the Corsair brand together through Corsair Connect, we're going to become so fast and so powerful as a company as we're expanding globally. Now, having our own online bank, I mean, think about that. This is the kind of stuff that myself and Andrea, we were just thinking and visualizing and painting a picture, an idea of the things that we would like to have in the future, without any knowledge of how or when, or even if it's even possible. And now these becoming a reality. And now it's here, becoming recognized at the United Nations. And obviously now one of the most exciting moments of the year is our last month and a half that we have left of the year, which I know are the most productive remaining weeks for 2025. And the inclusion of these increasing gate fees now also in the buyback program is going to make a huge, huge impact in the future. So I think we can all see the direction where we are heading as a company and as a community. I want to thank again all the pioneers, all of you who have been part of this amazing journey with us for the last couple of years when it hasn't always been easy. But I think we're all starting to see the fruits of our work becoming now a reality. And for somebody who is just today joining us for the first time, maybe hearing about this for the first time, you could not be in a better place at a better time. Because for you, as a new member of our community, this is the best time to start with us in this business. Because even with all of these developments and announcements and whatever, the best part is that we're just getting started. This is just the beginning, guys. Like, we're just warming up. This is nothing. That's the best part. We are literally on the chapter 1 of the book, on the first few pages. And you, either as a pioneer or either as a new member of our community, you have the ability to be with us on writing the rest of this book. But we ourselves are in charge of our future, and the future is looking very bright for all of us. So that being said, I want to thank once again each and every one of you for joining us on this quite long call today, but I think it's very important that we were able to summarize some of these developments. There will be a lot of more information shared with you in the coming weeks. This will be a very productive, very busy end of the year, but it will be nothing compared to what we are going to be doing next year. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much. I hope to be speaking with you again soon. Thank you very much, Andrea, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys soon.